when we have leaders, when we have movements, when we have organization, that's when they have to find a way to destroy it. That was the Black Panthers that created food systems, that fed the hungry, that educated people. That became the biggest threat to our U.S. government.
Many Africans in the diaspora need to have dual citizenship. Go to any African country of your choice. You don't even need to buy, obtain a citizenship. African diaspora are like the grain of a corn. Dishonors. You are saying one thing, but you are doing something completely different. Anyway, yeah. I said again, I'm sorry. I don't want to be really emotional. That is why I don't talk about politics, because it's very irritating. Okay.
Yes. It is. And again, we as Black people understand that the intent is to get us out into the streets, hooping, hollering, and rioting, so they have a reason to put their knee on our necks. That's why we're not out in the streets. That's why we're not rioting. They want a reason. He wants reasons to send the military into our cities. He wants the reasons to be able to come into our neighborhoods and police us up close. He wants the reasons. That's why we're not in the protests. That's why we're not in the streets. We're sitting down. We're taking our labor, we're taking our money out of the market.
Tell me more about that. That is important, because last week, for example, actually this week, we had a conversation which was entirely about building systems, building a support system within the African diaspora community. And of course, we were bringing in different cases of how this have been our model of life, in that we need to support each other for us to live, for us to survive. And I was saying, I think I was making an example of the United States, for example, where we have more than 20 million people. I say, okay, let's build a system where we can have a proprietary solution to our problem. I talk about a system of where a group of people can organize to help one another, to help one person at a time. You contribute $10. Say maybe, for example, you are 200 people. $20 or $10 or even $1 is something significant by the time you put it together. Now, of course, we need to also learn to trust ourselves, build something for ourselves, because it's not, the white people are never going to save us. It's never going to happen.
We have to do it ourselves, and that is what scares them the most. That's when they act the worst, is when they see us rising. That's when they get their most violent. When we have leaders, when we have movements, when we have organization, that's when they have to find a way to destroy it. That was the Black Panthers that created food systems, that fed the hungry, that educated people. That became the biggest threat to our U.S. government. The leaders of that movement were murdered. That's where the opportunities, when we have Black wealth, they destroy it. When there was Black Wall Street in Oklahoma, they burn it to the ground. No repercussions. They killed hundreds of us. They removed millions of dollars of economic prosperity because they were jealous and afraid, and it's still happening. So if we have the way to do these things in the clouds, if we can keep our information out of their face, if we can keep our capabilities under the covers, that's what our movement is all about. If we start understanding our own numbers, if we start understanding our own health, if we remove our dependence on the poor healthcare that we get and put our dependence on our own knowledge of our own individual bodies, then we have the data and the information to tell our government what we need, what we demand, what we expect, and how we have changed our own trajectory to a one of health, strength, and capabilities. That's something, if we can get that started on stealth mode, and we then become healthy and capable, then we can carry forward in creating our own generational wealth. We just cannot have wealth without health.
All right. So yesterday I was seeing a comment by one person. You see, no matter how you look at the situation, the Africans in the diaspora and Africans in Africa need to have a way of collaborating, an important way of having a geopolitical agenda. So this individual was saying that many Africans in the diaspora need to have dual citizenship. Go to any African country of your choice. You don't even need to buy, obtain a citizenship there. It doesn't mean you renounce your United States citizenship, but now you are beginning to appropriate your heritage. You can buy a piece of land, you begin to understand the culture. Because the only way the United States is, or the Western society, let's call it like that, because it's the same. Whatever they do in the United States is what they do also in UK or in France or in Germany. Why are they doing that?
Hitler got his recipe from the United States.
So they are doing that because they know that there is no country in Africa that can stand up for you when they kill you, when they do anything, they lie to you. But if you catch a European mafia in Africa, it doesn't go to African prison. They have a way of getting him out. If by any chance you say your law is strong, you kill him, they are coming to destroy that country, not today, but they will look for a way to do it, to let you know that they respect their own, they protect their own. But come to the United States, come to Europe, any European country, the prison is full of Africans. Okay, I'm not saying that these Africans haven't done anything, but I'm saying that we need a solid system in Africa. Of course, Gaddafi was saying this, and he was already making a little bit of move, and we also understand what happened to him. But that is not going to deter people. What I'm saying in a sense is that as people of Africa, they say we are hundreds of millions of people here. We need to look for a way to find the solution outside Washington, outside the United Nations, outside Wall Street. Let's look for how do I put it? We must devise a way to solve this problem. Let's liaise with people, because you see, the African diaspora are like the grain of a corn. And they say that for the corn to be heavy, you need both the grain and also the corn. So Africa is your base, is your home. You are not alien to this land. It's 1.5 billion people. We are going to have to do what the Chinese are doing. We will work with